Joining me right now is Lieutenant Colonel Manish Srivastava, who is the PRO of Defence. He is located in Dehradun, and he can confirm that. Colonel Srivastava, can you tell us right now, as far as the ground zero is concerned, how accessible is it? Because Army was the first boots on ground over there. So if anyone has any information, it is the Army.
Yes, I will update you on the latest rescue operations that are going on. Now, what I've come to know in the morning that despite the inclement weather, rescue operations were on throughout the night. Those people who were stranded there on the lower reaches have been moved to a safe place, oblique higher reaches. Additional army columns have also been moved from the north of Dharasu, and they are trying to reach Dharasu to add on to the already existing 150 people who are there of the army IBEX brigade who are working on ground. They will be assisting them, the existing column, with tracker dogs. Some drones are being requisitioned, and there is some earth moving equipment that the army is also bringing in, and they are also coordinating with the border roads. And in addition to that, air assets are also on a standby to move them as the weather gets okay, to rescue the people out of that place, oblique to deliver the supply to the place where the eventuality has happened.
Right. Colonel Srivastava, what about your own men? We know that one of the cloud bursts was over the Harshil army camp. So what is the situation there?
Yes, as we came to know yesterday that there were 11 people who got affected by that Harshil army camp cloudburst, out of which two people were successfully rescued. They are safe now. And the search, actually, the column is actually going on and searching for those 9 people who are feared missing right now. So we are looking out for them also, and we are trying our best to help out our own people, the locals of Dharasu, Harsil, and wherever the problem has actually occurred.
Right. Colonel Srivastava, there were also some reports, although unconfirmed, of a lake formation because of blockage of flow of Bhagirathi. Has any communication come across from there to the army regarding that?
I must tell you that right now the communication to Dharasu has been blocked. The both side of the Dharasu has suffered severe landslides. So the road moving up to Dharasu from south, and the road from Nilang coming down north from north, they both have suffered massive landslides. That's why firstly the road communication is blocked. Secondly, the mobile communication is also down there. There is no mobile communication with the people on ground. The army is only been able to communicate with the formation headquarter where I am communicating from, that IBEX brigade, through satellite phones only. So there is very limited information which has come to us, and probably the lake formation, this thing is being looked after by the state administration. However, army is presently focused on the rescue operations in Dharasu and Harsil, where actually people have suffered great amount of losses.
Absolutely, Colonel Srivastava. And the country and the state of Uttarakhand is extremely thankful for your efforts and Army's efforts. Do stay on with us, because we want to explain to our viewers the geography plays a crucial role in this entire situation. Where that village was situated, the topography of that area, how it was, the water and the sludge and the mud and the silt funneled from that entire region into the Bhagirathi. My colleague Ankit Kumar tries to explain this to you via satellite pics.
Every bits and pieces of information collected by our local reporters, official sources, we have tried to stitch it together to give you a better sense of what has been happening in Uttarkashi's Dharali village. Now, you have seen the visuals, the dramatic visuals, where you can see the sea of mud essentially coming from this direction. Now, this is the Bhagirathi river. At the downstream, it is situated at roughly 8,300 feet. The Dharali village is roughly at around 8,000 feet from sea level. And this point that we have pointed is roughly 12,600 feet, which means there's a difference of roughly 4,000 feet. We have calculated the approx speed of the first wave of the mud that you see in the visuals, and based on that, roughly 43 kilometers per hour. Roughly 43 kilometers per hour was the speed of the first mudslide that you have seen in the visuals. Now, the worst affected area is this place called Dharavi, the Dharavi Kasbah, the Dharavi village. This is the set of buildings which have been worst affected. Thankfully, so far, these buildings appear to be less destroyed, less damaged. Another important point is you have also seen the second landslide footage. The second landslide footage is right behind this mountain top. The Suki top is behind this mountain top. So at least 2 landslides has been observed. First is in Dharali, which comes from this direction. The second one is behind this mountain top, the Suki top. Thankfully, we do not believe there is likely to be much more damage than this, because the residential buildings, we do not see those residential buildings in at least the satellite pictures available. This is the Khirgarh Nala, which merges into the Bhagirath river. Now, the second picture that we have for you is the rough estimate of the affected village, that is the Dharali village. From our calculation, roughly 13 to 14 acres of area has been badly damaged. How much damage we will come to later, but this is the broader direction of the mudslide, and this is the Bhagirathi river. There is a bridge. Also, thankfully, there is a helipad right behind this place. There is a working helipad that should be used during the rescue efforts. This is the overview. This is the helipad that we just discussed. So if at all, this could be used as part of the rescue operation. This is the affected place. A very famous temple called Kalp Kedar temple is located at this place, right at the bank of the river. Direction of the slide is the mudslide is from this side. The Suki top is behind this mountain top, and this place also has a helipad. So if this helipad somehow is safe, this could be used during the rescue operation. Now, the next point is, which is much more important, is this one. In the red dots that you see, these are the buildings that are likely destroyed or completely swept away. So on the right side, you have much more red dots, which means that the destruction caused by the landslide or the mudslide is much more in this direction. The temple and other buildings are on this side. Unfortunately, at least 4-5 buildings have been damaged, but the yellow dots that you see, Pooja, are likely partially damaged buildings. That is what we have been able to gather so far.
And Defense PRO Colonel Manish Srivastava continues to be with us. Colonel Srivastava, we just heard our colleague explaining how there is a helipad in Harsil area. But we all know that the situation there is not conducive for air operations. There are 4 helicopters currently on standby that are waiting for the weather to clear up. Can you give us a little bit more information as to if the weather gods do, bless us, what kind of air operations can be undertaken and how can Army be supported by them?
The air operations, actually, as you correctly brought out, that weather plays a large role in flying, and unless the weather clears up, the flying cannot take place. Now, the only issue is that we are waiting for the weather to clear up. Now, the air operations actually can move the supplies, the medicines, the food supply packets, all those people who have been displaced and they have been moved to safer places. The medical supplies can move to that place. And as a matter of fact, if the weather clears up, the helicopters can be used to move the NDRF, SDRF columns also. More rescue effort, more engineering equipment can be moved out. There is something known as ground penetration radar that can be utilized to find out people, those who are buried inside and may need help. Those kind of equipments can also be moved very fast. Since the roads are blocked, air efforts actually take a lot of precedence at this point of time, but it is all subject to the weather being cleared.
Absolutely, and that means that the area remains unaccessible till a road alternative route can be created up till the ground zero. But Colonel Srivastav, as far as army is concerned, you are the only one that are there at the ground zero currently, although cut off from the rest of the world, but still a little communication, as you told us earlier, through satellite phones is still available to you. Army's efforts, could you tell us a little bit more about that? And also, we would like to know the situation of your brothers over there right now.
Yes, the only problem that the army right now is facing is the inclement weather. However, the weather does not affect the army's operation. The army is continuing their efforts. They had continued their efforts throughout the night, and presently there is a limited equipment that the army columns have that has been moved there. They do have some engineer equipment with them, but that is required to be moved, and that is en route right now. Now, the only problem to move engineer equipment is because of the road communication, that is the landslides which have happened and the road communication that has been cut off. The move of the equipment is delayed. However, they are trying to move it as early as possible. The people who are there, they are continuing their efforts, and the Indian Army is always prepared, and they will tirelessly work till every last soul is rescued and recovered.
Absolutely. And Colonel, if you could also tell us that via Dehradun, where all the command centers would most likely be, how are these operations being overseen and how is coordination being managed? Because if communication is such a challenge, coordination will also be a challenge.
The operational coordination is actually being monitored up to the army headquarter level. Chief of army staff is directly overseeing the coordination, and the main headquarter of the coordination is headquarter central command at Lucknow, where army commander central command is personally monitoring the situation, and he is planning to go to the ground zero and actually personally monitor the situations on ground. Uh, However, right now, the people who are right now on ground zero is IBEX Brigade, which is based at Joshimath, and the commander IBEX Brigadier Dhillon is personally at the location, and he is coordinating the complete effort. The units which are nearby, the border roads, the ITBP, the local administration, everything is being coordinated by Brigadier Dhillon of IBEX Brigade at Joshimath, and actually the coordination is very good right now between the state administration, the machinery, and the Indian Army. So the coordinated effort, I am sure we will be able to help out maximum people who are actually in a state of desperate need right now.
Absolutely, Colonel Srivastav. Thank you so much for speaking with India today and bringing us up to date. Remember, viewers, it is the army that has been the first responder in this case, and also they are the only ones who have the best communication line right now open through satellite phones. Thank you very much, Colonel Srivastav.